Hello everybody, this is Diane. What have I been doing since the last video where I showed where I started this cover and I made a few tags inspired by Nancy? Well, I finished the cover, the outside, the inside isn't done. And then I made the second cover. This one is for my friend and this one will be going in my shop. And I gathered papers to be pages and I copy dyed a stack of papers and doilies, and I made some more tags. So let me show, we're going to finish the tags that I started though, more inspired by Nancy. So here's the finished cover. I think I may add some buttons, so it's probably not completely finished, but here's the front. This was pretty much done when I showed it to you. I don't remember if this part, I think this was done, but I may have added the yo-yos, but I didn't have the spine part done. So that took some thinking and auditioning and changing my mind, and I finally got it to where I liked it. So these are two different fabrics here, and a piece of a vintage crochet doily and another yo-yo. So like I said, there may be some buttons or some other embellishments added, but for now, that's what it looks like. It's nice and curved now because I've had it wrapped around that journal that I showed you before. In this one, I chose this beautiful fabric to be the front. And I added the chicken wire fabric at the bottom, some more crochet doily, some rickrack over the seam part, another yo-yo. These yo-yos are from a quilt from the 1930s, and the quilt was falling apart. So I'm really enjoying using it. And here I use these cream and black chicken and rooster from the fabric that I had, with the eggs in the background, another crochet doily, and some rickrack that I thought was a perfect color for this. And then on the spine, I used this linen that had this yellow crocheted edge. I do want to put a little bit of trim here. I forgot to do that, so I'll pick out a narrow trim that will complement this. And I just added little pieces and glued them down. And again, I'll have to finish the inside. So now I'm putting this, it goes this way, around my book to help round the spine out. Now the pages, I'm doing these covers from an Amity Bloom journal course called the Everyday Journal. I probably won't follow her course for the pages. I'll probably just do what I want to do with the chicken digital kit that I have and the chicken ephemera when I make another journal. I'm planning on making one for myself with her course, and then I'll make more because I love these covers, so I'll make more, but I will follow the course instructions for the pages. So I'm just going to get into working on the tags now. As I mentioned in the other video, I am following Nancy's videos that she's doing on tags. She's making tags for her Christmas journals. Her channel is called Wishes and Weeds. And I did 1, 2, and 3 in the first video. Let me show them to you. So this was 1 with a napkin. I think this was 2 with a vellum pocket and a vintage sticker. And this is 3. So now I have prepped 4, 5, 6, and 7, and she did these in 2 videos, but of course she was trying to figure out what to do. She was designing them. So since she did that part, all I had to do was pick out elements for my own tags. So I'm going to try to finish up 4. I told you I probably wasn't going to make the tags on camera, but what I'm doing for the journals I can't do on camera. At least I couldn't as far as making the covers. So I want to make a video, so here we are. So I am making one of her designed tags for the chicken journal and one for my stash. That way I'll be able to have these on hand, and then I can make more at another time. One of the thing that took the longest for me was gathering supplies, looking through my things and picking out elements. So if I have these in my stash, so if I want to make more of these, I'll have all my book images out and my stamps out, and I can just make a few at a time instead of just making one of each. So anyway, this one has a music background, and this is a little girl on a tricycle that I cut from a children's book, and some ladybug stamps. And Nancy had a beautiful picture of a cardinal bird on hers, and she had two stamps that were stacked on top of each other, which was beautiful. I chose to use this full set of stamps because my image was a lot smaller than her image, and I needed to fill up more space. And I just thought the ladybugs and the little girl were cute together, and the colors go great together with the green and the red. And then I put this little tab on. She also put one of these tabs on hers. So on this one, I'm using a ledger, a vintage ledger with some writing on it. And this is the image I chose from a children's book. And I did an extra step in mine for two reasons. One, there's blank space down here. And two, I wanted to add some color because there was no color. And even the stamp is a sepia colored stamp. This is the only chicken stamp I have. The Centennial of the American Poultry Industry, 1948. So that's an old stamp. And I just thought it needed some color. So I had this little chicken wire stencil. Sorry. Lost my words there for a minute. Chicken wire stencil. So I like that. I think it was just what it needed. So now all I have to do is glue these elements down. This was another quick one. The other ones were a little more involved, but I have most of the work done, so they shouldn't take long on the video. So I'm not going to have time to do much more than this. I don't even know if I'll have time to cut any papers. I was hoping to cut some papers today, but I have my grief share meeting tonight, so I'll have to make sure I get my dinner done and eaten before that. I wanted to put that stamp just behind her tail feathers before I pressed her down. And I think that the red adds just enough color there. And I have this punch that I punched out of this checkered paper that I had. It's lightweight cardstock, heavy enough for a tab. I'm just going to ink around the edges of it. So I'm making 2 chicken journals and possibly 3, but I don't know, it's taking me a while to even get going on this one. But I'm only making 1 chicken tag of each style, but there's going to be enough tags that they'll just have different tags in them, different styles of tags, and that's okay. I don't have a ton of chicken ephemera, so I want to make sure I save some for, you know, elements in the book. Journal cards. Well, these are elements in the book, but I need to make pockets and journal cards and embellishments. So I'm not sure if I'm going to finish. Nancy's going to do 19 tags, and before I said I thought she had 12 done, but there were 16 done on her channel. And I don't know if she's done any more yet, but I don't really need 19 chicken tags, so I might not do them all with a chicken theme. So Anyway, here's 2 more tags. Well, 1 more for the chicken journal and 1 for my stash, and I love them both. The next one, she put 3 strips of acetate on her journal, so you can see, or on her tag. I've already sewn them on, and I already sewed around these these tags also. So that's all she did. I cut mine. My tags are 3 1/4 by 6 1/4, so I cut my acetate 3 1/4, and then I just made them 1 1/4 inches high. So they're 3 1/4 by 1 1/4. And I've already done the work. I sewed the acetate. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't sew the bottom of the pockets. I sewed around the edges, but I didn't sew the bottom of the pocket. So I'm going to have to go back to my sewing machine and do that. But in the meantime, she took a doily, and I don't remember if she wrapped it around or cut it in half, but she just had a half a doily here. So I wrapped mine around, and that's just its little pull tab. And this one, I'm just going to glue it half to the tag and leave half of it up for the pull tab. And then we're going to pick out some elements to go into those little acetate pockets. And of course, I will have to sew the bottoms of the pockets before I actually insert them. We'll insert them tentatively so we can see how everything looks. Nancy used cigarette cards, stamps, postage stamps, gift tags, and even illustrations cut from a book. I just wrote down a few of the things that she used. So I think my tags might be a little narrower than hers. I think, well, I do have cigarette cards here. I pulled out some, what do you call them? Calling cards. The calling cards were too wide. But the cigarette cards are great. So I have this one that I thought was cute with a daffodil, but it's wide as a magnifying glass, make things look larger. So that can go in a pocket. So I don't have any chicken elements to put in here, but that's, oh, I do. There's this one, Rooster Pooster from a children's book. I have these little tags that I can use. I would probably at least cut the string shorter if I don't change the string. These are coffee dyed tags that my friend Jill sent me a long time ago. She sent me a whole bunch of them. Some coffee dyed and some Kool-Aid dyed. So I'll just tuck this little tag up here. I can embellish that in some way. I can stamp on it or something if I want to. I have this little yellow flower that I stamped and cut out. Why is it suddenly got dark, didn't it? I have this little card that I thought was cute. It's a little vintage gift card. I'll put that one in the bottom behind the rooster, behind Rooster Pooster. I got these little things that I think came from, they either came from Nick the Booksmith or Tracy Fox. I think they came from Tracy, but I don't know. They were little journaling quotes, but they're very tiny. And I've had them and I don't use them. I can't even read them unless it's hard for me to read because my vision is bad. But I thought this is perfect for them because they're so small. I have this cute little house that I stamped. I'm going to tuck that in there. I have some tickets. This is 1 quart of skim milk. And this is a chicken journal, not a cow journal, but it's on a farm. So I'll just tuck that in there. And this one is for school lunch. It's a school lunch ticket. I'll tuck that here. I have these little images that were cut off of 6x6 scrapbook paper. There's a policeman and the children. These are just sweet little vintage illustrations. I think I'll just put this one in here. And the policeman here. And then I wanted to put in some of my loyalty stamps. I'll see if that is small enough. So that's pretty full. This will go in the chicken journal. And I can add a few more pieces to that one, I think. But they're pretty fun, aren't they? That was a good idea, Nancy. I've got all these little pieces that I'll have to put away. Oh, here's another little gift tag. I put that one that opens up there, so I'm going to put this one here. It was a die cut, but it wasn't cut all the way. There we go. Very cute. I'm having fun making these tags. This is a really fun project, Nancy. Okay, let's move all this stuff. I'll double check to see if I want to add any more of these things before I put them all away. So that's 2 we've done. So we have 2 more, but these won't take so long because they're almost done. The next one, she put some netted lace over the base of the card, the tag. And by the way, if you didn't see the first video, I made my tags with file folder and vintage ledger and vintage music paper. Nancy used vintage music on all of hers. And hers are going in a Christmas journal, like I said. So I called it netted lace because it's very little design on the lace, but it's netting. The background is netting, and then the lace work is done on the netting. So that way you can see more of the background. So this is one I had. It just had this really pretty embroidery on the netting. And then she took an image, and then she made a frame around it with a thin lace. So I did that already. And then she put hers on gold paper, because if you lay it down on this, the lace blends into the lace. So she used gold paper to help it stand out, but gold paper isn't going to be what I want for a chicken journal, so I pulled out some blue burlap that I had. It's vintage. And I am just going to glue that on there. I sewed the chicken and lace piece to the burlap. I glued the lace on it, and then I sewed that piece to the burlap. And now I'm just going to glue it to the tag. Oh, I filled a bottle of glue. So let's use that one. I heard my clock chiming, but I didn't pay attention to what time it was. I didn't count the chimes. It's probably 3. Let me see. Yep, 3 o'clock. So I've got some time. I'm okay. And then I'm going to add this blue tab that I made with just a scrap of cardstock. I could do something to the tab if I wanted. I could add an eyelet to it and then hang a bulb pin on it with something. And I might do that, but I don't know. I don't need to. At first, when Nancy did the lace around it, it's really pretty. And I thought, I don't want to do that. Because I like the look of it, but it seems really fussy. But it wasn't that bad, really. Didn't take me long at all. So there, that's another tag. And this one, I used a flower seed packet. Now I have these labels, but I made digital of them, so this is a copy. And I put this lace around the edge, and I have pink burlap to glue it to. I sewed the other one, but I'm just going to glue this one. I keep picking up my almost empty bottle. That chicken I put on this one is a digital. It might be from Country at Heart. I'm not sure. I'll have to look it up. I already had them printed. And this one is in my shop. And there's the pretty embroidery on that one. I don't have to do anything to the final tag because they are completed. But I can show them to you. And then I'll have to watch the next couple of videos and see what's next. But I really want to get started on pages. Guess I need a little more of this. Burlap to lace. Hopefully it'll stick. Should stick. It's Fabri-Tac. I'm gonna press it with my ruler. Something slid on something and made a funny noise and scared me. I don't know what it was. And I have pink. This was actually a pink index card. You can see faint lines on it. And I just punched a tab out of it. I've already inked around the tabs and the tags. And there's the third tag for today. And the fourth one, like I said, is already done. I don't know if I'll use one of these in the chicken journal or not. Obviously, there's no chickens on there. But, you know, the plants could be on a farm. But hers is going in a Christmas journal, and her tags are bigger than mine. I know they are, because she had like 4 or 5 snowflakes that she die cut and put all over the tag. My tags aren't big enough to accommodate what she put on. So I had these Tim Holtz flowers, wildflowers, already cut, and I just arranged them on my tags. And then she put netting. So this is not a lace netting, it's just the netting. And she just put that on top of her snowflakes, and then put a metal eyelet in and used some of the netting for the tie. I think she took a string. Now that I think of it, thought I had a string laying right here. It's from these tags. I think she took a string and tied it around her netting. Let's see how that looks. Did she do that in place of tying it in a knot? I don't know. Guess I didn't pay enough attention to that part. Let's try that. I'm not sure if that's how she did it, but it's cute. Okay, so we have the 2 wildflower tags. We have these tags with our little lace framed pictures. We have our acetate pocket tags, which are super fun. And we have our book page illustration tags. Really, really cute. I'm loving these. Got some time, so I'm just gonna start getting some pages ready. I copy dyed these doilies because I thought they'd be great for a chicken journal. I put gloves on before I stirred the coffee up with my hands to make sure all the grounds were dissolved, because I just got my nails done yesterday and I didn't want to have coffee stained hands. And when I went to grab the doilies, because that was an afterthought to get some doilies to put in. I think I needed to go this way. I couldn't get them apart. They felt thick to me, so I knew there was more than one doily, but I couldn't get them apart, so I was just putting them in. And there were at least 2 and sometimes 3 doilies put together. So this was one on top, and then the next one looks like that. And I actually love the way they look. And this one must have been the 3rd one at the bottom. So anyway, I'm going to put one in each signature. I'm not sure if I'm going to do, how many signatures I'm going to do actually. I normally do 3 signatures per book. But I said, I didn't even take these apart yet, that I wanted to do things a little bit different. So I'm not sure. It's a pretty thick spine on that book cover, so I guess we'll just see how it goes. I had a terrible time with the coffee dyeing today. You know I don't like coffee dyeing anyway. I thought, well, I'll just do a few of my pages, my scrapbook papers, and then I grabbed some copy paper too, because I'm running low on my coffee dyed 8.5 by 11 papers. I thought I'll do some of them too. And what I had cooked last night, I made popovers. I don't know if you know what popovers are, but I made popovers. And every time I make popovers, it must be the buttery goodness spilling over or something. Let me see if I need to cut this. But the oven always smokes. Yep, I don't need to cut these. And my smoke alarm goes off. My smoke alarms are very sensitive. I can boil water and set the smoke alarm off. It's pretty annoying. I always get my stool out and have to climb on the stool and push the button to reset the smoke alarm. So, I got my stool and I shut it off. But I mean, that happened when I made the popovers. Smoke alarm went off. And then I always forget, and when I turn the oven on the next time, whatever was in the oven is still there. And it smokes like crazy. So, and I forgot about that. So I opened the oven door to take the pan out, because it wasn't fully heated when I put the pan in. So it wasn't a problem then, but when I went to take the first pan out of the oven, the smoke hit me smack in the face and stung my eyes. And of course, by the time it eventually reached the smoke alarm and set the smoke alarm off. So I got it shut off. And then after next time I had to open the oven, it did it again, and I could not get it to stop. I toasted that one. I think because I was frantically trying to stop the smoke alarms, I left some of the papers in too long, which, you know, could have led to really needing the smoke alarms. So I actually have 2 smoke alarms in my living area. I shut my door to my craft room and my office so that smoke alarms aren't affected. But the 2 in the living area were going off. And I got the one closest to the door stopped finally. I set my fan, I opened up my door a crack and set my fan so that it could be blowing smoke out the door. And that kind of cleared the area. I mean, you could really see the smoke in the house. But the other one that's closer to my craft room, that just would not stop. I stood there with my finger on that button, waiting and waiting and waiting for it to stop, and it didn't stop. And I realized it's probably because it's not close enough to the door. The smoke is over here, and it's not clearing out. So I had to go in my bedroom. I put all my fans away, except for one in my bedroom, and I'd left one in the living room just in case. I don't like being hot. So I had to go in my bedroom and get that fan, and I had the cord behind my dresser and plugged in, you know, so it took some doing to get that. I'm telling this long convoluted story that you're probably not interested in, but all I'm doing is folding paper. Let's see how big we want these pages to be. Is 8.5 by 11 the right size? It's a little small, actually. So let's go with well, maybe 12 by, let's do 12 by 9 and see how that looks. So anyway, I was pretty frustrated and trying to keep on top of the papers and trying to, it's ear piercing and nerve jangling. I finally got it stopped. And my fans are still in place. Just in case when I make dinner tonight, I'll try to wipe the floor of the oven out before I turn the oven on again. I'm going to cook a pork chop, so I might set the alarm off again. I think that's a good size, 9 by 12. I left the width. I want to get some more scrap of the 9 by 12. These papers were smaller papers. I want to make sure I have more of the 9 by 12 papers. Do I have bigger papers in there? Because my digital paper is smaller than 9.5 by 11. Because I had to cut the border off. It was a very tiny border, but you know, still smaller. But I can build pages up too, adding to them. So I turned my furnace off when I had my door open because it was snowing out. I didn't want to have the door open with the cool air coming in and then having the furnace coming on. You know how it goes. I also have these farm expense papers that came from a farm record book. I don't really want to cut the width off. I'll fold them. I'll just cut some off the bottom. So if this is the width I want, just tuck that inside, and then I will fold this back. And I'll probably want it folded to the inside, so I'll just do that. And I'll probably put something here to reinforce that. What else do I have so you don't have to watch me doing the same thing? I have these little ledger papers. I thought they would be fun. I think for these, instead of folding them in half, I can put this almost to the same width and fold it here. And that way I can add something here to make a flap or something. Make it bigger. I think that would be fun. And then I have this ledger paper also. I think that is 12 inches. Yep. Is it 9? Just over 9. Just going to have to cut off like 1/4 of an inch or 1/8 of an inch. I have some, children's book pages. Yeah, I got some good ones. This was from a great children's storybook that had a few stories about chickens. This one might have been called Chicken Lickin'. Oh, Tuppence. Little Tuppence. I've never heard that story, but that was a really great picture. There was Chicken Lickin' and Little Tuppence and the Little Red Hen, all in the same book. I think what I'll do is cut that top off. Yeah, I'll cut the top off, the border margin, and then more of the chicken gets to be on this side of the page. I have this one. This one is still from Little Tuppence. I think the little boy is named Little Tuppence. Nope, the little chicken was named Tuppence. And I have all my digitals. I'm putting 6 digitals in each book. Were 12 pages in this kit. I thought I had some other children's books too. I do. And I've got wallpaper. So these are the wallpapers that I might use. This plaid I thought was fun. This floral. And then this one. This one is more fragile, but I can use it for something. I like the color. This is from a sturdy, very old book. I kind of want to leave that on there. I think I will. Something got stuck here on the page. I guess it tore the page. But I like this picture. I don't want to cover that up. But it doesn't have anything to do with chickens. But I might just leave it there. This one is a kid's book, but it's about our food, producing, how we get our food. At least this chapter was. So I can do something to cover up this part, but I can leave the chickens here. And I think I'll have to reinforce this too. That's a pretty old page. And this is from a different digital kit. So I guess that's where I'm going to leave it right now. Got these great cardstock pages that I didn't copy dye because they're sturdier. This is from Authentique, from the Homestead collection. Look at all those chickens. And then this, I don't know what collection it is, but Barnyard, or I don't know. Anyway, I thought it was a really pretty toile design, and it's got chickens on it. So I'm going to stop the video here, and I will come back to do, I don't know what will be in the next video. I don't know how far I will have gotten. But thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope you weren't too bored. And I hope you had fun with those tags. Go visit Nancy's channel and look for her tags in recent videos. And I will see you in the next video. Have a creative day today. Bye-bye.